What a season the West Virginia Mountaineers have had. I think Coach Devries and Javon are both going to get screwed.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, guys? Welcome back in. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am the host around here, and this is Locked On West Virginia. Thanks for joining in, guys. It's been a fun weekend already. At least we got that W. I know you guys love to see it as much as I do. This one's going to be brought to you by FanDuel. Today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, customers can get $200 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins, but you have to go to FanDuel.com to get started. Thank you guys for being here as always. Couple things really quick. First of all, I was wrong yesterday. West Virginia did get the bye. I guess I was under the impression that Kansas had to lose. That was right technically, but in a way, other things could have happened. There was no way to know every scenario. The TCU loss was one that we also needed to happen, and that did happen. So West Virginia does get a bye, which is huge news, guys. We needed that to happen. Absolutely. So looking at that, West Virginia, obviously, I've got the bracket pulled up right here. We've got Cincinnati versus Oklahoma State, Colorado versus TCU, Arizona State versus Oklahoma State, UCF versus Utah. And then we obviously face the winner of Colorado TCU, which will probably, who knows who it'll be, because Colorado won the last one against TCU. On a neutral court, you think TCU should win still. And then we move on to probably lose to Houston because they're 18-1 in the conference. And to be honest, they shouldn't have even lost that game. So, yeah, but we can get 20 wins if we win our next game, and you never know what'll happen. Do we have an outside shot? Absolutely, we could win the game, but I don't foresee it. But I've been wrong before, and that's for sure. So excited to see that. Let's talk a little bit so I want to go over some things. I had some notes that I wrote down before the season even started, and I want to talk about them. It's on each player individually. A couple guys didn't play. There wasn't anything much I could do about that. But, talking about the players individually, different notes on these players, and I want to talk about whether they improved upon or did not improve upon or whatever, that stuff. And then we're going to get into the Javon Small, Darren DeVries stuff, how I feel they're probably going to get screwed. And I've got some stuff here on why I think they shouldn't be, and why I think they probably will be, though. So obviously, let's go over this list of players just real quick. Eduardo Andre, length, rim runner, and also likes to run the floor. With him, I feel like, his defense was better than I thought at the rim for sure. I wouldn't classify him as a rim runner now that I'm looking back on this. And yes, he will run the floor, absolutely. But there are other things about him that are great too. Like he's a good distributor of the basketball. That was something I didn't expect for sure. I wasn't expecting him to be such a good passer, which is awesome. I mean, congrats to him. Absolutely. So, so I think that's something that's cool about Andre that I just didn't know about. Tucker DeVries obviously didn't get to play. Sincere Harris, great defender, gets in the paint on offense, great energy, and he has that go disrupt the ball energy going on. That's absolutely true. I think he nails Sincere Harris, and it's something I'm absolutely the only thing I put on here that he didn't do, I guess, is that he needs to get stronger. And that's something that, unfortunately, he can't do till in the offseason anyway. Ofrey didn't play. Jonathan Powell, he's filled out for a freshman. Good strength, competent shooter, great length. Don't expect much. Well, I was wrong there. He's certainly one of our more impressive players. Absolutely. Javon Smalls is pretty funny. I said he's impressive. Runs offense well, makes the right read every time, has great vision. I couldn't have been more wrong. I just didn't put enough. He's an elite shooter. He's an elite scorer. He's an elite everything. Nobody saw the improvement, though, I don't think, like it was going to be for him. So, in that, like it was anyway. Um, on the next page, I've got the other guys. Stone didn't play. I said Tanner was probably my biggest surprise. Terrific, great feel, smiles, great instinct. Said he could play today, which is what Devries said. And I said he's an improving shooter. I said he needs to get better at rebounding it. Or no, that's the next guy. Sorry. So obviously, with him, I think there's a lot to improve on. So, I think he's done well for what he is as a young kid. Got a great runner. I think he's going to he's one of those players as a senior that's going to be really good, in my opinion. Okani, amazing defender, improving shooter. So, I think both of those things are still true. His basketball IQ really, really bothers me sometimes. I feel like he makes bad choices on the basketball court that just aren't conducive to offense being really good. Also said that Hansberry, that's not Hansberry. It's my chicken scratch. Needs to get involved in the pick and pop game, and will have to guard the best big each week. Needs to get better at rebounding it. He smashed all those out of the park, So kudos to Hansberry. I think that's really impressive as well. So some notes on the game from yesterday, in my opinion, anyways. I said yesterday would have crushed us. The momentum we would have had was all gone, which would have been 3 out of 4 wins, all that stuff. And that just wouldn't have happened. I think it would have crushed us. Thank God that we got that win. We found a way, which is what I have underlined. West Virginia is the number 7 seed and has ended up with a bye, which is awesome, which means we don't play till Wednesday. That's huge for our team. I think out of all the teams in the Big 12, we needed that more. Javon and Hall both had 572 points in the Big 12, which means they're tied, which means Javon Small is number 1 scorer in the league now. Tied, but still, he's number 1, right? Not a lot of people got to watch us is a great point I saw him make on 3 Guys earlier today because of ESPN Plus and everything. That's a fair assessment. I think that's one of the reasons why they may get screwed. Something else they had on 3 Guys that I wrote down, Evan Miyakawa, only 6 teams ahead of West Virginia in the standings have had as significant of injuries as West Virginia. 35 points per game, if you base it off last season and what Tucker was doing in 8 games, in his 14 points a game, and you add the 14 point whatever plus the 20 point whatever that Stone would have had, almost 35 points a game West Virginia is missing on offense this year. Would it have come up to that much? Probably more like, I would say more like 25 or 30, but still a big loss. It's funny that West Virginia's most efficient lineup, even though he only played 8 games, after 31 games, is with Tucker. So you really can't emphasize how much of a loss he was. And this team was undefeated, went out rebounding other teams. I found that to be super interesting. On Javon Small, he was defended the hardest and got the most attention of any player in the Big 12, bar none, because of the lack of a secondary shooter, which is my next point. West Virginia had no secondary scorer, and Javon Small was the focal point every single night, and that's just the fact. So, he did all this with all that going on. You can't tell me he's not the player of the year. With all these parameters, you can't tell me Darren Devries isn't the coach of the year, and I'll go to my grave believing it. I think there will be highway robbery involved here, which is what I'll call it when it happens. I know there are other people that may disagree. That's just my personal point of view on this. I think both guys deserve it. I really do. Will they get it? Probably not, but we'll see how it plays out, guys. Let's go to a quick break. On the other side of the break, I spoke to some people inside the football program today and yesterday. I've got some spring studs for you, some guys that are performing well in spring that Rich Rod won't tell you about that I have found out about. Stick around for that, guys, on the other side of the break. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia is going to be brought to you by Supply House. We love Supply House around here. Get the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trade, Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 top brands is exactly what you need, and you'll get that at Supply House delivered fast from coast to coast, kind of like Javon Small in the open floor, coast to coast, baby. You need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free trade master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. And if you're looking for that extra edge or that hard edge, like Rich Rod says, Supply House is your people. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, you can use promo code S-5H for 5% off your first order. Make sure you do it today and go to supplyhouse.com. And this episode is also going to be brought to you by Wayfair. Your home really should reflect your style with Wayfair. It's easier than ever to make that happen. Whether you're looking for a simple refresh or tackling a big home project, Wayfair has everything you need in one place. Their huge selection makes it easy to find the perfect piece, no matter your space or budget. From cozy furniture and stylish decor to kitchen essentials, outdoor must-haves, Wayfair has it all, and the prices that fit your budget. You want that personal touch? Well, I was looking for a new rug, guys, for my living room, and Wayfair had a ton of options. I've actually got one on my floor now that I'll try to take a picture of and show you guys next time. They've got it all. Head over to wayfair.com and find something that's just your style today. That's WAYFAIR.com. Every style, every home. It's segment 2. I don't have a do. I've got a cold brew. That's right. I brought coffee with me to the set today. And you know what? I won't have any judgment on it. Guys. So let's get a drink of this cold brew. No do on this one. All right. So as you guys know, I have my sources inside the program, and I've been asking for a few weeks on who are some guys that are really showing out on the football side right now. And I went and got you guys, well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys. So not bad here. 8 guys that are showing out through the first part of the spring period. Let's start in the running back room with Dior Hubbard. Dior Hubbard has been probably what I was told the most consistent running back of the running backs that are playing right now in spring. He has really stepped it up over his running mate from the freshman season and is really gotten bigger and stronger, according to this right here. And he's also making the right reads. He's picking up the offense well. And hey, look, that's great news. I don't care who it is that flourishes in this offense, as long as somebody does. And if you'll remember, Hubbard has a lot of skill. So that's pretty cool, Jaden Bray is number 2. And I've got a lot of notes here on Jaden Bray. Dominated people at time in this spring. Might be the hardest one-on-one guard. And this is from somebody inside the facility, guys. Might be the hardest one-on-one guard in practice right now because he's so big and strong and experienced. The quarterbacks are putting it right on the numbers for them right now. And if you heard, Rich Rod was really mad about how the defensive backs played in practice a couple times this offseason. He's one of the biggest reasons why. Also, he's become a great blocker, or is blocking great. He's doing things that he hadn't been asked to do since Oklahoma State. So, it sounds like maybe what he was asked to do for Ollie Gordon, stuff like that, has really come on to help. So that's great news that we need him to do that. So we need him to come on strong. Nico and Jalen both are really battling it out right now, from what I understand. And this was the most interesting one for me. They said that it's literally like one up in each other from day to day. Like it's, you can't really, they're both killing it. And that's great. I mean, we need them to do that. We need them both to be on top of it, obviously. But I was shocked to hear that it's such a close battle. And he said, I don't think that Rich Rod could, well, we read it. I don't think Rich Rod could make the decision if he was forced to today. Probably would lean Nico just because of his relationship with all the players, but Jalen is making up ground fast. I asked him, who's the better thrower between the two? Who's the better runner between the two? And he said, in my opinion, Jalen is extremely elusive, more so than I thought he was going to be. And he has got Nico beat there right now. But Nico has come a long way, and that's capitalized long way in throwing the ball, and has had a couple better throwing practices than Jalen so far. So that's just one man's opinion, but that man is inside the building seeing this stuff. Reed Carrico, another guy that has really played well at times this spring, come in. Seems like he's gotten a little bigger. He's also probably gotten a little stronger. Obviously, another year in the weight room, more familiar with our program and what we do there, and is really being vocal and a leader. So that's great to see. We need him to do that. Xavier Bosley dominating people on one-on-one periods to the point to where so far nobody's really getting the best of him that he can see. And that's not surprising, being that he was a freshman All-American. I think we expect that from Xavier. So love to see that. Chemo Macanioli has apparently shown to be really strong as an ox is what I have underlined here, and has made some headway at one of the guard spots. So it looks like maybe he may be in line to get a starting spot at some point. And then Oliver Straw kicking the crap out of the ball, punting the ball well, doing things, and they've only been able to go outside a couple times this year. So not a lot of outside reps, but seems like Ollie Straw is playing well right now too. So that's interesting. I think that I would love to hear, obviously, the coaches point some of these guys out, and we'll see. A lot of these guys are guys that have been here. That's, now that I look at this list, none of these guys are transfers, except for Jalen and Chemo. So that's interesting. The guys that have been here, that makes sense that guys that have already been here and are comfortable in this program would be playing well. So that makes sense now that I'm looking at the list. Hope you enjoyed that one, guys. Not a whole lot else on that. Let's go to one more quick break, and then we'll put a bow on this one. Be right back, guys. This is Locked On West Virginia. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia is going to be brought to you by FanDuel, guys. Did you know FanDuel is that shiz? They do it big in FanDuel. They do. And right now, March Madness is here. FanDuel is giving you your chance to get in on the action, like never before. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's $200 extra bucks to use on everything from buzzer beaters to Cinderella stories, and even who's cutting down the nets. The FanDuel app is easy to use, and when I win, I get paid instantly. You don't have to wait around. So visit FanDuel.com and get in on the college hoops action, and make sure you do it all tournament long. All right, guys, it's segment 3. Not a lot else, guys, on this episode. Just a quick Sunday update. So it's going to be fun. Obviously, the women lost in the Big 12 tournament, so that the women's tournament will be seeded here pretty soon at some point, I imagine, and we'll get the updates on that, guys. Make sure you like the video, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you on the next one, guys. Have a great Sunday. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you on the next one, guys. I'm out of here.